Dr. M. Ponnaiah, Doctor of Economics Professor as well as the advisor of GTM Group of Institutions, Dr. Ramaswamy, my friend Dr. Madhivanan, my friend Dr. Sivarajan, my friend Mr. Chinnakala, the Registrar, GTM Group of Institutions, the Principal, Pharmacy College, dear teaching fraternity from both aided and self-supporting program, dear marketing staff, my humble greetings to all of you. In fact, it's a very great for which I must thank the organizers, particularly the Department of Commerce and the Research and Development Cell, very particularly my friend Dr. M. Ponnaiah. Dr. M. Ponnaiah met me in the principal chamber, and he said that all the faculty members of the Department of Commerce are willing that you should be a resource person to talk on, but he said a different topic, to talk on art of teaching. And immediately I said that no, instead of talking art of teaching, it is better to have a topic as a general topic, that is education, higher education, what is the present scenario and what will be the future. In that way, I am willing to talk, I said. So after getting my acceptance, Dr. Ponnaiah immediately asked me to pay 5,000 rupees. So I have to pay 5,000 rupees for accepting the assignment what he has given to me. It was not shocking for me because I know pretty well he was joking. And then I said, if you call anybody else outside to talk on the same topic, in my age or in my caliber, definitely they will be charging you more than 25,000 rupees and plus conveyance. But I am willing to address our teachers at free of cost. That's what my answer to him. Even in the morning also he asked me 5,000 rupees. He repeatedly asking me. 3 days or 4 days ago, I asked him, Ponnaiah, whether I have to make a presentation in which model, whether I must make a PowerPoint presentation or a PowerPoint presentation. I asked. There is a difference. Making a PowerPoint presentation and making use of the PowerPoint presentation. I asked him and he immediately said, you have to make use of both. You must make a PowerPoint presentation as well as you have to make use of the PowerPoint. Generally, I don't refer any points from the notepad or from the screen or from the slides when I deliver my presentation. This is the first time Ponnaiah I am making use of the PowerPoint projection. But I know how to prepare the PowerPoint and all the presentation and everything. But I don't prefer because I won't feel comfortable if I read anything. But anyhow, I am going to refer the contents of my delivery only from the screen. Okay. Before going deep into the topic, I wish to share my own experience, that is my personal story, in GTM campus, because it is more relevant for the contents of my delivery in the future. My personal story as student, my personal story as teacher, in GTM campus it could be a relevant thing. Therefore, first I touch those aspects, then I come to the topic later on. As teachers, we all know that there are three categories of students. First category, second category, third category. First category, high level learners. Second category, moderate learners. Third category, very poor learners. I humbly say myself, I was a very, very poor learner. My first entry in GTN as student for my PUC from Nehruji Memorial Municipal Higher Secondary School. I narrowly escaped from failure of SSLC. I passed with very important marks. I got admission in GTN, not on merit basis in PUC. I got admission only through recommendation. So my name was listed in the Saundara mill list. I joined here as student in PUC. But I had a great opportunity of meeting the great teachers. I was taught by very great teachers then. Though I was in the third category, I was taught by the great teachers. So they uplifted me from third grade to first grade. That is why I am saying that as teachers we never underestimate the third category of students. I say that we should not make any difference between these three categories. The teachers, we should handle all the students very effectively in the classroom. So in that way, I was uplifted by my teachers. This occasion, I thank all my teachers, those who have molded me and made me as a good student from the poor student. My next entry, second entry in GTN campus, as a teacher I entered here. We got another entered in GTN college as a teacher. But as teacher, I was an up-and-down teacher. Not polite teacher. I was very up-and-down. I did not know how to handle the students. So every day, I was facing a problem with my students. Every day they created problems and I had to solve the problem. But I never used to bring the students and the teachers' class to the department. I never brought the matter to the department for taking action by my HOD and all. But I used to handle them in the classroom by myself. And they bothered me like anything every day in that class. That was the first section, 82 batch. And actually I learned a lot, not from my colleagues, I learned a lot only from my first batch of students. I found the difference between knowledge is one thing, teaching is a different thing. Only the students have got this lesson. You may be knowledgeable, but you cannot win the confidence of the students by making delivery of your content in the class. Both are different. I could learn only from the students that learning is one thing, learning for teaching is another. So slowly, my students have corrected me. They have corrected my behavior, attitude, rough and tough style, everything gone. And slowly I have become a learner-centric teacher. So that was the turning point for me in GTN campus. So a bad teacher converted into a good teacher. So I must thank only to my students because they only made me a good teacher in the same campus, GTM. So after becoming myself as a good teacher, I joined an association called MUTA, and I was the office bearer also. Office bearer at the local level as well as the office bearer at the district level. If they allowed me, or if I have chosen that path as the right path, definitely I will become a national level, not political leader, national level union leader, I will become. But I have changed my path. But here this occasion, I believe that I was also molded by the association. A representative teacher learn from students and also learn from the association, because the association only molded me as a duty conscious teacher. Right? The association only converted me as a socially responsible teacher and a socially responsible citizen. Right? So no more dilly-dally by telling my own personal story. Let us go into the topic now. As you all know, the title. What title? Yes. Indian higher education, a futuristic approach. Sri Kalama designed as a challenges in Indian higher education. I was perceived as Indian higher education, a futuristic view and then futuristic approach. But nothing different. There is no difference. All are same. Okay, we can take it as a challenges of Indian higher education or Indian higher education, what will be its future. That's all. Okay. Next. Next, sir. Yes. Before. Yes, sir. Yes. Okay. So I am going to cover my presentation by taking into three components. The three components are educational system as a whole, and the standard of institutions, standard of educational institutions, and third one, standard of individual faculty, teachers. The standard of the individual teachers. So these are the three areas I am going to take up for further discussion. Let us move on to first one. The first one, educational system as a whole. Here, I don't want to say that this speech, whatever I am going to tell you, going to be a new. No. I know very well that I am not going to tell anything new to the teachers. All the teachers here are experienced teachers. You know what is what. You know what is education, higher education process. Because almost all the teachers are one way or other, you are connected with NIRF, you are connected with NAC, you are connected with IPSC, visiting every day, submitting your record and making yourself as a party to submit the report. These are all your daily affairs, routine affairs. Therefore, I am not going to tell anything new to you. If you say anything new, or you feel that from the lecture of Dr. Yennam, I have learned a new thing, it will be a wondering. And I will be wondering that so-and-so has learned a new thing from my presentation. That will be wondering, because all of you are well aware of that. But my thing is, I am going to revisit in an organized way, that's all. You know everything, but I am going to make my presentation in an organized way so that you can also feel that revisiting of the higher education, that's all. My humble question here is, we have got A++ accreditation. GTN has got A++ accreditation. Not only GTN, there are many institutions that have got A plus accreditation. It's a higher accreditation. The question which is ringing in my mind, and the question I would like to ask all of you, openly, frankly, you put your mind, ask the question again, whether the A++ has measured the quality standard of DTM accurately or not. That is my question. A++ accredited by NAAC. Question is whether that quality is reality. Whether we can see the 10% matching of that accreditation with the quality standard what we possess. So I am not talking about DTM alone. I am telling this fact to Laila College also. I am telling this fact to every college, those who got highly accredited. Nowhere the quality assessed and accredited by the authorities will match 10% with the real quality in the education institution. I hope all of you would agree with me. If not, some of you would agree with me. Okay? That is the point. What is the reason? Why I say very boldly that cannot be matched with the reality? Why I say quality cannot be measured easily. Quantity can be measured because countable. We can measure the quantity easily, but measuring the quality is not an easy job. They can perform it. I'm afraid many formalities and the parameters, but whatever the parameters designed and given, no accuracy will be there. I am sure about it. 10% accuracy will not be there. Whatever the parameters followed to assess the quality standard of education institution. Again, I go deep. You know goods, you know services. Goods and services. Goods can be tested with the lab, whether the quality standard is there or not, very effectively, very clearly, because once the goods are manufactured in a factory, all the goods will be having uniform standard, uniform color, uniform size, uniform weight, and uniform quality, because produced or manufactured by machine. So the machine is capable of manufacturing goods with a homogeneous nature. Therefore, the quality can be measured very easily when we come to goods. But education is basically a service. I hope all of you will agree with me. Here we are not selling the goods. We are rendering our service, molding our students. It's a service. Education is basically a service, and educational institutions are service providing organizations. It is very, very difficult to measure the service in comparing to the measuring the goods. It's very difficult to measure the service. Do you know the reason why? Measuring the quality is difficult. Why? Measuring the quality is difficult only because of the simple reason. That is intangibility. What do you mean by intangibility? If the service is intangible, you cannot see the service. See the service by using your eyes. It cannot be felt, it cannot be seen, it cannot be felt, it cannot be touched the thing. Because it is intangible. Service is intangible. But goods are tangible. We can count, we can handle, we can touch, and we can see. This is the reason that intangibility, inseparability, and heterogeneity are the specific features that make us very difficult to measure the quality. Therefore, whatever quality we think, that is not the real quality because of intangibility. It cannot be measured accurately. So that is the point you have to keep in your mind. Now coming to this particular aspect, educational system as a whole. Put the next slide. Yes, this one. So NEP 2020. So I have published a YouTube video some 5 years back, 2020 itself. I released a YouTube video telling about NEP, not NEP assets. That is a draft. I have not given that draft as such. Micah. I have not given as such the NEP, but in YouTube I have given my perception. So after studying thoroughly the NEP 2020, I have given my perception. What is the perception of Markandeya? The perception of one person may vary to the perception of another person. It may vary. Therefore, I strongly say that I was not negative to NEP and I was not positive to NEP. I have given both. I have mentioned that there are some good aspects in NEP and I have given that there are some adverse effects in NEP, but the government should be very careful in implementing NEP because even now many states have not implemented, right? But 5 years back I have mentioned certain modifications is possible, the government should look into, and after making modifications the NEP should be implemented. In that way I have given my perception about NEP 2020. Some of you would have watched that NEP, my YouTube video, fully, and some of you would have watched partially. Some of you would not have been watched. Okay, that is not the problem. Because I am not going to repeat the NEP once again, because that was 1 hour 15 minutes video. I am not going to tell that 1 hour 15 minutes for explaining the NEP. I am going to give you only the glimpses of NEP. Is it necessary to discuss NEP now? I need not say, because it is a need of the day. Particularly it is a need of the day in Tamil Nadu. Lengthy debates and discussions is going on through social media with the people everywhere in the state of Tamil Nadu, in the entire country also, about the pros and cons of NEP. Therefore, we must know. If you do not know the exact thing what is NEP, and as a teacher, that is not justice on our part. In that way, I am going to take only just, I am going to give you only just a glimpse of the NEP. The first thing is, the NEP 2020 aims at the internationalization of higher education system. What do you mean by internationalization of higher education? This is a national policy, but the national policy aims at the higher education in India should be internationalized by way of bringing collaboration. By way of bringing collaboration in the sense, the top ranking educational institutions are willing or unwilling, they have to move from single discipline to multidiscipline. That is a very, very good aspect in NEP. I support multidisciplinary. At the same time, you know the condition of the universities, condition of the autonomous colleges, Corning glass technology. Computer science teachers may know what is Corning glass technology, CORNING, Corning glass technology. I was talking about the Corning glass technology, that is touchscreen technology. The teachers very often using the smartboard by simply drawing down and making the screen up and transferring the media. That means what? The role of teachers are minimized, not necessary. Corporate governance, NEP is over. I won't take much of your time and everything. You are free and you can come back just like the NEP, multiple entries, multiple exits. Here also allowed, right? You can come and go, and again you can come and go, right? But whoever remaining here, please listen my speech because it's well prepared. Coming to the corporate governance. So the new education policy as well as the government of India, HRD, is insisting, maybe dictated by somebody, maybe dictated by few rich people to the government. Therefore, all the educational institutions should run not in the style of educational institution. The education institution should run as a corporate. So it should run as a company, not as an education institution. What's the difference between a company and education institution as such? There is a slight difference. In company, there will be a profit maximization objective. But in educational institution, there won't be a profit motive. Profit maximization of the objective. Only customer satisfaction will be the objective. So in corporate governance, the expectations of the stakeholders to be fulfilled. At the same time, costs should be minimized. At the same time, profit should be maximized or enhanced. That is the corporate governance. And we don't call them as correspondent chairman of the institution. The corporate governance, they would say that CEO, Chief Executive Officer. And all the members of the board, they will be called as the directors, just like a company. This is the model. So the government of India wants that the education institution should be administered not in the old style, it should be administered only in the style of company, not the old style. Go to the next slide. So that is the corporate governance. There are 4 P's. The 4 P's are, first one, purpose. I said objective, profit maximization and customer satisfaction and all. These are the 4 P's. What's the purpose? That is why the authorities are saying that you should have, every institution should have a mission, vision statement. Where it comes? It comes from the corporate companies. You should have your own vision. Vision means futuristic view. The NEP says that in 2035, the accessibility should go to 28, from 28 to 50%. This is called vision. So similarly, every education institution, just like a company, they should have their own long-term vision. Long-term vision, what is what? What is the long-term vision? Many places they have said that the India should be made as a super knowledge global power. Super global knowledge power. And at the same time, the India should have a sustainable development to reach the super knowledge global power. Okay? That is the vision of the NEP. What is the vision? It's daily affair, or weekly affairs, monthly affairs. And that has to be made very clearly. That is the corporate governance expectation. Okay? Purpose. Then people. People here means the right person. The MBA teachers know how the HR is handled, how the human resource department is taking its own policy for recruiting the people. The right man should be appointed as in the right position. The right man should be in the right position. A wrong man should not occupy a right position. That is the point. Only a right person should be selected. We know for selecting the teachers we have got set exam, net exam and qualifications, everything. And where is the qualification for a principal, head of the institution? The government college, the head of the institutions are appointed only on the basis of the seniority. Government college teacher is here, my friend, only on the basis of seniority. But in aided college, it has been relaxed that seniority come merit. seniority come merit, but nowhere it is followed very strictly. It is followed only for the namesake. Some colleges are following only seniority. They don't want to antagonize the other teachers, and some colleges follow, merit. Even selecting the best principal from outside also permitted in aided colleges, in private colleges, by way of antagonizing or clashing with the existing teachers. This is happening. So the very important thing is a right man should be given a head of the institution, because the principal is not only the academic head, he is the administrative head also. If the right person is selected, the top person, particularly the vice chancellors, we know how the vice chancellors are selected. Again, my personal story. I attended one referral course, not referral course. I presented a paper in Pondicherry University. My subject commerce. I presented a paper not in commerce. I presented a paper with the title of Challenges in Higher Education. That was my paper some 22 years back in Pondicherry. I didn't know that the conference would be a high level of conference. No, I didn't have that. I sent a paper, the paper was accepted, and I was invited. I went there, I presented my paper. At the time of presentation of my paper, when I was reading, I was giving a suggestion, so many suggestions, how the students are at present, how the teachers associations are at present. They are all giving some unrest to the institutions. That was my blame against the students union, and that was my blame against the teacher association also. And they don't want to solve the problem. They want to maintain the campus as unrest. It was a blame what I charged against the association also, though I was a member of the association. At the same time I said, but I was not allowed to say that matter. I said that the vice chancellors are to be selected only by way of clearing the examinations conducted by Union Public Service Commission. Some 22 years back, I made this statement in front of 6 vice chancellors. In front of 6 vice chancellors, very boldly I stated, immediately all the 6 vice chancellors rushed to me and they asked the organizer, ask him to stop. What he is saying, in that way they have shouted, and I was pressurized to stop my speech. I felt that I was insulted on the floor when I say my viewpoint, my perception. The same perception now, 2 days before, our former Chief Justice Chandrachud has mentioned. The judges not to be selected on the basis of the recommendation of the collegium. The judges should be selected only on the basis of they are clearing the All India Judiciary Service exam. After his retirement, he is making this statement. But 22 years back, I was bold enough on the floor in front of the vice chancellors. I raised this voice that vice chancellors not to be selected by way of scrutinizing committee or screening committee, and 3 members are selected. From the 3 members, the government take 1 person. So political interference, corruption to the core, irregularities to the core. To whom? For which selection? The selection of the vice chancellor. Then how the university would accept if such vice chancellors are coming to the job, getting the university? Nothing possible. So that is why I raised. Okay. So the point is, if at all India is very particular to make the education institution as a super global economic, super global knowledge power, this is very important thing. Whether the government would consider or not, that is a big question. So then process. So in corporate government, process is very important. Process, I mean, decision taken. So the head of the institutions or head of the departments or the people, those who are supposed to take decisions, They should never take decisions abruptly without consulting. Decisions to be taken only on the basis of democratic way. Democratic way in the sense, a person cannot think that he is knowing everything. And when before taking a decision, he has to consult. He has to consult the expert. In that way, decisions to be taken. And once the decision is taken, the institutions and universities should follow the decisions, and there must be a transparency and accountability. That would be a good process. So the process is the third P, and the fourth one is performance. So we know, we perform. We are all appraised regularly, periodically, through performance appraisal. Whether the performance appraisal and the performance of the teachers assessed by our principal is going well for the namesake or really performance are appraised. That is a question. But once, if you want to take our India as a super knowledge power, the performance appraisals by using a great parameters. We have to make use of the very important parameters to assess the performance of the teachers, performance of the students, performance of the principals, performance of the vice chancellors, and performance of every person connected with the education institution. Simply the government puts some conditionalities only to the teachers, only to the students, that is humble. Right? If it is the performance, at every level it should be taken care of. Right. These are the 4 P's of corporate governance, and you just have keep your mind sharp, think over it. If all these things are going very smoothly, very successfully in every place, at every level, definitely our aim may not be far away. We can achieve that aim. Next slide. I have to rustle because many of you moving, but just to see the slides. I already spoken about multidisciplinary. So only when the institution has got multidisciplinary, the second thing is possible. What is the second thing? Interdisciplinary. When there is no multidisciplinary, there is no possibility for interdisciplinary, one discipline to another discipline, not at all possible. Therefore, first one multidisciplinary. So our curriculum should have been designed by taking into account of this concept, multidisciplinary approach and interdisciplinary approach. The last one also supporting the same thing. Last one, our institutions should have a competency. Competency not with the local colleges, local universities, competency with the national level, competency with the global standard. So once you are thinking about super knowledge, global power, your competency should be only in abroad, not nearby you. In that way, competency, and every institutions in abroad, they are promoting STEM system of education. STEM means science, T means technology, E means engineering, and M means mathematics. So there must be interdisciplinary approach. Those who are well versed in engineering, they can contribute for mathematics, and in mathematics, those who are well versed, they can put their mind to become having an engineering knowledge, technology oriented. In that way, the entire educational system should move around. That is STEM education. Okay. And coming to the other aspects, very important thing, project-based learning. We conduct projects for our students, but project-based learning means the individual projects, group projects, teacher plus student project. There are some successful projects. If the teacher motivates the students and helps the students to prepare a project, definitely those projects will be very helpful, and we should not ask the students, whatever you bring, we are ready to accept your project and we will allot marks. This is the real scenario. But if it is taken seriously, If they are thinking creatively, if they are thinking innovatively, if not, if the teachers help them to think innovatively and creatively, definitely the projects would be a very, very right choice of learning many things. Okay? Then, personalized learning, that's what I am doing. I don't have any teacher for learning anything. I have a personalized learning. The students also be motivated to have a personalized learning. There are social media. You can learn a lot from formal education than the YouTube education. YouTube will educate you very effectively, so our students should be encouraged to get a personalized education, the personalized education through social media, and we have to encourage them. These are all the sources from where you can get many information and get a personalized education. In that way, we have to motivate. As teachers first, we have to get a personalized education. We need not go to anywhere for getting our degree or studying or getting certificate. No certificates required. You learn for the purpose of learning knowledge, getting knowledge. That possible personalizing, that is also very important. And digital learning, I have already told you. Okay. Flexibility and adaptability. Okay, next slide. So standardization, and there are 4 aspects even in the standardization. For every aspect, there must be some standard. We do agree. If it is substandard, if it is not in standard, we won't accept. If it is a standard, standardization, I am not talking about high standard. No. There must be a minimum standard for everything. When there is no minimum standard, then there is meaningless. Therefore, there must be a minimum standard fixed for everything. The first one, curriculum standardization. We have to revisit our curriculum. And universities should revisit their curriculum. And every education should revisit the curriculum, whether the curriculum is good or whether it is a substandard or it fulfills the minimum standard required compared to the curriculum of elsewhere institutions. That is the point. So minimum standard for everything. Assessment standardization. I said the NAAC is assessing, accrediting the quality. Now the NAAC itself has come. No A grade, no B grade, no C grade, no plus plus, nothing. Future, we know. Binary accreditation. Because the NAAC itself has understood what is lacking in the assessment process. That is why they want to scrap, because unduly the consultants are earning money, unduly corruptions are made, unduly the patron visit members are in the soup. These are all not necessary. Therefore, whether your institution is ready to go for assessment or not. Yeah, definitely every institution is going for an assessment. They won't say that we are not ready. So go for assessment. And if you go for assessment, once you have submitted your SSR and you will be accredited. What way? You passed or failed. Not even failed. Accredited or not accredited. Not passed, failed. Your institution is accredited, your institution is not accredited. Which institution is not accredited? If you are not sent your SSR and if you are not willing to make your institution assessed by the authorities, your institution is non-accredited, and once you have submitted your SSR, you are ready for assessment and your institution is accredited, no A plus and all. Because these are all the things very bogus. A plus plus or excellent, bogus. I said the reason also. Because of the intangibility. Service can never be measured accurately. Okay. Next. Teacher standardization. There must be a minimum standard. It is not simply because of the educational qualification. No. Once you are entering into the classroom and teaching to the students, we should forget ourselves or we are knowledgeable. We should come to the level of the poor students. And we should never ignore them. And whatever we teach, we should have a learner-centric approach. Learner-centric approach. In what way if I deliver, the students will learn. In that way we have to take, therefore, teacher's standardization is minimum. It is not necessary that the teacher should be well versed in speaking English, even in the local language. if the teacher is capable of making our students understand everything correctly, perfectly, that ends the matter. You have communicated, the students have learned, and that students would celebrate yourself to the very highest level. They will celebrate you as a great teacher. Now, institutional standardization. Every institution should have a minimum standard, and as far as our college is gone, still we have to go many miles, and in some areas we are very great. Even in the first accreditation itself, I mean my period when I was the principal, the NAC authorities have stated that green campus and a neat campus, that is also a possibility. Some 10 years back, we have got that accreditation. We have got that assessment, that green campus. And similarly, there must be minimum standard for everything. Infrastructure, teachers, and everything, there must be a minimum standard. If we cross the minimum standard, our institution is growing, it is not fixed. So we have to keep that mindset, that growing mindset, and not the fixed mindset. Next. So I am going to rush up because time already. Institution level. So every institution should have an ability. I am coming to the second part. So I said 3 components. The first component is yoga. This is the second component. Institution standard, standard of the education institution, I said. The institution should be able to compete. Our institution should be able to compete district level, should be able to compete with state level. Always we are competing. In sports and games, Jindal College is competing with American College. We have that ability. Now we have succeeded also. We have succeeded that at university level, Jindal College is a champion by pulling or pushing American College aside. Now we have come. American College 150 years ago, that college was established. But in sports, we have achieved that success. Therefore, we should have the ability to compete, and infrastructure, organizational coordination, and control system. I need not explain. Collaboration, creativity and innovation, commitment towards stakeholders. Commitment towards stakeholders. Here, students. Here, parents. The parents are our stakeholders. The parents are believing the particular education institution would impart knowledge and skill. So we should not cheat them. We have to fulfill the expectation of the parents and society. In that way, commitment towards stakeholders, we should commit ourselves totally. Institutions. Then, global cultural environments. And whatever happening in neighboring countries, or whatever happening in Europe, whatever happening in US, whatever happening related to educating the students, definitely the institution should come forward to impart that knowledge through our teachers, and the cultural program, everything should be based on that one. Last, alumni participation. So every teacher responsibility is to make them participate, make the alumni to participate in the institutional development. So the institution can be developed with the help of the management contribution alone, but if the alumni also takes part of the development of the institution, that institution would grow like anything. So therefore, alumni participation is also important, and it is focused by the NAC, and whenever they visit, they meet alumni also. Therefore, this is to be taken care of. Next slide, I think we are going to wrap up. Punaya, we are going to wrap up. Please bear 5 or 10 minutes.
Thank you.
Okay. So the individual faculty. Now, every individual faculty should be able to compete. Actually, I competed. As a teacher, I said, I was molded by the association and all. And there was one HOD, a commerce HOD. He was a very genius. He was appreciated by many students previous set of the students than myself, and they appreciated like anything, praised like anything. And he was the heading the department, he was a teacher, and many students go for tuition, personal tuition, for clear. He was a genius. And actually, every day I used to take oath to compete with that gentleman. That has helped me to grow. That has helped me to grow myself. That only has helped me. So every teacher should think about their ability, and every day they must increase their ability to compete in the department level and in the institution level. In that way, a teacher should grow. Learners will be teaching already, I told you, then consultancy, competency. So we are running consultancy, and we have to self-assess ourselves whether all the consultancies are in the right spirit or not. We have to check. If it is so, every consultancy what the teachers are doing, that is giving a way for earning money, definitely there is a credit to the institution. Not only a credit to the individual, it is a credit to the institution also. So we should have, as teachers, should have a consultancy competency. Because we are basically a teachers. We may not have that expertise in consultancy, but we have to develop how to give a consultancy to the people, those who are in need of. Next, creativity and innovation, intention to enrich knowledge. The intention. You don't think that once you have become a teacher, your education is over. No. Once you have become a teacher, now only your process starts. Enhancing your knowledge process starts. In that way you have to think. Therefore, you must have an intention to enrich your knowledge every day. Daily affair, weekly affair, monthly affair, annual affair. You have to check yourself whether I have grown a little bit today comparing to yesterday. That is the point. You should have an intention. And presentation skill, okay. Once you have got all these commitments, it would come to you on its own way. The very last thing is very, very important. That is avoid ego and avoid gossip. As teachers, many of us, we are involved. We are having that quality. Ego quality. Humbleness, no humbleness. If I know something, I think that I am a very biggest person or big person. No. Even though you are very highly knowledgeable, you must have, as a teacher, you must have humbleness. The ego is a very dangerous self-intoxication, which is much more dangerous than taking liquor, alcohol liquor. That would make you as arrogant. If you have ego is a self-intoxication. That will make you arrogant. So be proud of whatever you have. Be proud of your achievement, be proud of your knowledge, but don't be arrogant of having something. And another thing is, ignorance is somewhat better than arrogance. But I have seen some people, some leaders, those who are ignorant, but they behave like arrogant. That is highly dangerous. A leader is arrogant as well as ignorant. And that type of leader we have seen. And as teachers, you should develop that kind of habit that I should never become an arrogant, I should never become an ignorant person. And I will become very proud of my achievement. No time I will show my ego to anybody else. That is the last aspect. So these are all the qualities required for a teacher to excel. If we have, we can blame institutions. If we have all those things. If institutions have all those things, and individuals also have all those things, we can fight against the government to bring all those things. So to create that kind of a social awareness, I have made all those aspects. So next slide. Now I come to conclusion. I think Ponaya maybe got me. Look here. National Education Policy 2020 is really a nationalistic policy. So, tricky word. National education policy is really a nationalistic education policy. It is not an internationalistic education policy. That is my point. Parandaman nodding his head, he has understood the tricky word and the meaning. Nationalistic approach means talking too much about Bharat, talking too much about Indian ethos, talking too much about cow is a holy animal, talking too much about drinking urine of cow will cure the disease. These are all the national ethos, culture. Going back to, without having any scientific outlook, going back to 2000 years ago and talking too much about that situation, that won't help us to grow. They won't help us to compete with other countries. But this is purely a nationalistic policy, and best example I can tell you. Now the three language formula. Every state government should follow three languages. In three languages, what the policy says, the policy says that the third language should be only Indian languages. Any of the Indian languages. Why not Spanish? Why not French? It is avoidable. If you are able to learn the French language and the Spanish language, you can go to abroad, you can go and do your business or job, anything else. But here, there is a hidden agenda. The government has granted already crores and crores of rupees to develop this Sanskrit language. Already money given. Crores and crores. Already money given. Crores and crores to develop Hindi language. And they are ready to appoint, or maybe already appointed, Sanskrit teachers and Hindi teachers already. If the people say that if you introduce the third language, any language, we are not imposing Hindi, you can introduce any one of the third language. If it is so, our students would prefer only Hindi, because that is the only choice for them. They won't ask Telugu, they won't ask Malayalam, they won't ask any other language, they would ask only Hindi. One way. Another way, there are no teachers for Telugu, there are no teachers for teaching Malayalam here, no fund is allotted. Indirectly, the teachers will be readily available for teaching Hindi, the teachers will be readily available for teaching Sanskrit. So, giving importance to Indian languages, appreciable one, but that is what I say, a nationalistic approach. It is not required. Internationalistic approach required, but one of the aim of the NEP, in the first point, it has declared that internationalistic policy, but here it is failed. That is why I prove this is not an internationalistic policy, this is purely nationalistic, making ourselves Indian, Bharat, Indian, Bharat, cow is an animal, holistic animal, and going back to the Stone Age, and we will never become a scientific person. So that is the point. Next to make India as a global knowledge superpower. That is the aim of the NEP. Our policies should aim for global standard to all our education institutions, not to few, top ranking, no. All our education should be made as a global standard education. So the hybrid learning models, both online and offline, that is hybrid model. This is welcome decision. We have to bring both online and offline model of teaching. So at the same time, when we offer offline education, every institution should offer online education also. One teacher can meet millions of students if you are introducing online education. In that way, these are all the important aspects. And before wrapping up, this is very important thing. You have to lend your ears for my final thoughts. Okay. Before wrapping up my presentation, I would like to give you my final thoughts about this particular topic. The teaching profession is a mother of all professions. Teaching profession is a noble profession. Teaching is a very powerful weapon to make the changes in ourselves. The teaching has made many changes in me. I believe in each and every word I use very consciously. The teaching profession makes changes in ourselves, and the teaching profession makes changes in our students, in our society, in the world. So we can be proud that we are also part of the changes that are taking place in and around the world. Don't think that India is having top rank in educational scenario or in higher education in the world. No. Do you know the statistics? The statistics says that it is 134th rank out of 193 countries in the world. Right? 134th position. How I say? It is in the statistics. The Human Development Index, that index is useful, is helpful to measure the educational standard of every country. In that way, HDI says that India's position is 134th. The rich country stands first, Switzerland stands first. Out of 193 countries, very small country Switzerland, and that country, climatical condition is very, critical climatic condition, challenging climatic conditions. In that condition, the educational standard is first standard among the world. Norway second, and Sweden third, Australia fourth, Germany fifth or sixth position. Even China is holding 75th position. Sri Lanka holding 78th position. Our neighboring country Bangladesh, which has given out of India, the undivided India, they have included Bangladesh also. Now the Bangladesh is a separate country. In that country it is 128th position. It is better position than India. Think over it. So we are not well ahead. That means what? All the stakeholders, from the government to administrators, the administrators to teachers, and the teachers to students, everything, we are not given due attention. So the failure on the part of everybody. We can blame all. Teachers, we can blame students, the students can blame teachers, teachers can blame government. In that way, because of that reason, that is the position. Okay. So once I say that teaching should not be viewed as a job. You have to teach with a passion. It is not a job. It is a service. You have to commit yourself in developing the younger generation. Then only we can change our country and the world. Right? In every lecture, in every discussion, in every interactions, whether it takes place in classroom or it takes place in the meeting hall, better you take it as an opportunity to ignite the spark in the minds of the students to transfer in their lives. So with this, I am really very thankful to all of you. Next slide. Thank you very much. Now the question and answer session. If you are having time, I have time to talk to you, but I don't want to pressurize you, don't want to compel you. If you are ready, you can put any kind of questions. I am here to answer all your questions. Thank you very much.
Good evening to all. This is not for question and answer, sir. This is my feedback. Really, today is a good day for me because after long gap, I attended a special seminar on challenges in higher education. Really, sir, your lecture is very uniform, cohesive, continuous, thought-provoking and motivating, sir. After very long, I attended the very nice, beautiful lecture that you have delivered. I think he has transferred the 40 years of experience, knowledge, expertise within 2 hours to us. Really, today is a good day for us. Congratulations to you, sir. The gentleman narrated the new education policy or national education policy, right from the what is the thinking of the nation, what is the global reality, what is the local reality, how the teachers, and he simply narrated that there is no difference in the near future between government and the private teachers or aided college teacher. Hereafter, the teachers' life and their salary, everything based on the knowledge. He rightly pointed out, teachers must be respected by the students because of his knowledge. He rightly pointed out, once again repeat, all the teachers must be respected by the students because of their knowledge. He also pointed out, we must be loved by all the students because of our character, our attitude, our approach. Also, he narrated and explained, we must have a different approach towards the different category of students, not to help them, mold them, motivate them. The right point, sir. We have taken this as a lead for us. Another point he also explained, now the university, autonomous college, aided college, affiliated college, all these things will be come in one sheet or one roof, and based on the knowledge of the individual, based on the knowledge of the student, or otherwise he said that nowadays we are producing graduates. He rightly pointed out, we have to produce, or the national education policy aims at, we have to produce employable graduates. Now we are producing only graduates, but that is not need of the hour. We have to convert, or we have to generate a synthesis, what we call employable graduates, and everyone must be a unique one. That also he insisted. And another important point, he thought that we should not have ego and jealous and what is known as that word. So that we have all these things, definitely we cannot to be a good teacher. Congratulations, sir. Thank you. And the time given to our respected AD sir is not sufficient. Another session must be given by requesting our Vice Principal Ponniya sir. Good session. Continue, sir. Congratulations, sir. Thank you.
Sir, thank you. Actually, I have to make a good statement because I narrated my personal story as student and teacher in GTN campus to begin my lecture. Why I narrated my personal story? It is very simple. That is the established truth. The established truth is teachers are not born. Teachers are actually made. I was made as a teacher. So everybody is made as a teacher. You can be a great teacher if you are made by atmosphere, or if you choose that atmosphere. Definitely you can grow every day. That was the established truth. That's why I have taken myself as an example. That was the true example. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais and participants, good evening to all. On behalf of our PG and Research Center of Commerce, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and everyone gathered here. I express my gratitude to our management and our director and HODs for their supports and engagement. I am deeply gratitude to our honorable principal for his presidential letters and guidance. I rise to express my gratitude to our academic director for gracing us with his presence and sharing his valuable insight with us today. His words were truly informative to us. It's a thought-provoking and we have learned so much regarding on higher education aspect, system of education and modernizations in education using technologies and so on. Our words were truly more informative to us. I thank all the participants for their active engagement and participation. Thank you once again to all.